So today we are going to talk about how to solve simultaneous equation. What's the meaning of simultaneous equations? The meaning of simultaneous means I have two or more. Alright, so I will be solving two or more equations. In this case, we only be solving two. Now there are three different examples. The first one is a recap. You have to make the subject, right, of the equation. Which one will you be using to make a subject? Let's call this equation 1 and this equation 2. So anyone want to try? Which one will you be making the subject? I'll be using the second equation. And why are we using the second one?
Because y is 1.
Now, correct. Y has coefficient of 1. So when we make y the subject, it is simply 57 minus 4x. What will happen if I let x be the subject here? What will happen? What will we get?
7 minus y over 4.
Yeah, and what do we call that? 57 minus y over 4? We will get an algebraic fraction. Can we still solve it? Yes, right? But why we don't want to use that? It is more complicated. We will sub it into 1. Alright? Okay, so we will sub it into equation 1. So when we substitute it into the first equation, we will have 7x minus 2. However, the y now, we will change it to 57 minus 4x equals to 21. And therefore, the y is somewhat eliminated already. There will be no more y at the moment. So we will only have an equation in terms of x. So when you make y the subject, y will disappear. Okay, if you want to make x disappear, you will make x the subject. So coming out here, I will have 7x minus 114, right? 114 plus 8x equals to 21. So when I add this, I will have 15x equals to 114 plus 21, which is 135. Okay, 135 divided by 15, and I will have 9. So when x equals to 9, and I substitute back to any of these equations, clearly the one with the y as a subject is the easiest. So we will have y will be equals to 57 minus 4x, and therefore we have 57 minus 4 times 9, and the answer is 21. For equation 1 and equation 2, which equation are you going to use to make the subject? Okay, I will use equation 2. Simply because it's the simpler one. Can I use equation 1? I can also, but I will have square root or I will have a fraction, and that will make life a bit difficult. So we will make things easier. Okay, ask you a question. What happens if we sub this back into equation 2? What will happen? Do you know? Yeah, you become 0 equals 0. And you know that you sub into the wrong one again. Okay, so since we use, that's why I write it this way. I write it from equation 2. And I will sub into equation 1. So later when I check, I must make sure that it is the correct equation I am substituting in. Now the first mistake, please look up for a while, is when you do a square for your y, you are not supposed to square the first term and square the second term. It is supposed to be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So please have a habit of writing a y squared term like this. There is no other way, okay, you can do it until you are very proficient in it. So we will minus 4x equals to 0, and when we expand it, we will have 16 minus 16x plus 4x squared minus 4x equals to 0. 4x squared minus 20x plus 16 equals to 0. Pause here. Look at these three terms. What do you realize, or what have you spotted? All these three numbers are multiples of 4. So what will we do now? Divide everything by 4. Okay? And when we cross factorize it, we will have x minus 1, x minus 4 equals to 0. So x equals to 1 or x equals to 4. Now when x equals to 1, the y value will be 2. Thank you very much. And when x equals to 4, the y value will be negative 4. Make x the subject or make y the subject is, so I will make x the subject. You can make y the subject as well. Since we keep making y the subject, let's make x the subject for once. So x equals to 5 minus y. Equation 2, equation 1, and we will sub it into equation 1. From equation 2, I make it the subject, I sub it into equation 1. So we will substitute x into equation 1, and we have 5 minus y plus 1 square plus y plus 1 square equals to 25. We will always make the bracket simpler first, simplify and reduce before we move on. So we will have 6 minus y square plus y plus 1 square equals to 25. As mentioned earlier, you have to write the square in this manner. And we will expand. So we will have 36 minus 12y plus y square plus y square plus 2y plus 1 equals to 25. Okay, so we will write down the square term. Y square plus y square is 2y square. We will write down the y term. Minus 12 plus 2 will be minus 10y. And the number 36 plus 1, 37. 37 minus 25 give us, is it 12? Okay, then we will have plus 12. Do not factorize yet because the numbers are a bit too big. So we know that they are all multiples of 2. Okay, so we'll divide everything by 2. And now we can actually factorize simply. 1 will be 2 and 1 will be 3. And therefore y equals to 2 or y equals to 3. And when we sub it in, we will know that x equals to 3 or x equals to 2. And if I leave this answer here, those whom I have not gone to yet, you will lose 2 marks. Why am I losing 2 marks? You never write the answer as coordinates, because the question, I didn't write it out here, is in your resource book. It is in coordinates form.